So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why it's important for us to get good photos from you and how it benefits your business. So local GMB ranking improvements, the importance of getting good photos from the client, and that's you. So let me first explain the process and why we need the photos from you. Um, so the first thing, Google's artificial intelligence algorithm, it basically recognizes what's inside of the photo. And I can prove it to you, and I will prove it to you right now. What we want to do is we want to train it to connect your brand name with the things that are inside of the photo. And this is the reason why we need to get the photos from you. And we actually want to show you doing the service that you want to promote inside of these photos. Uh, and after we get all those photos, right, we want to distribute those photos all over the internet so that we can bombard Google with signals that your brand is about the service, which is described in the photo. So the more photos we distribute all over the internet, the more connections Google will see that your brand is about, the service that's inside of the photo. So let me show you an example, right? So this is Google Cloud, and this is their Vision AI, which is basically the artificial intelligence that reads what's inside of the photo. So if I drag a photo, I have a couple of examples here. Let's say I wanted to, we're promoting Botox. Look at this, like the AI, it actually knows, it actually tries to find out what the emotion is on the face. It recognizes the face, it recognizes objects. So it's a glove, a person, and another glove, and then it sees all the labels, right? Uh, it shows you like what's inside of the photo. So it knows that it's about the medical procedure, right? Which is crazy that Google would know that this photo is about medical procedure. Then it sees, the skin, nose, eyebrow, head, tooth bleaching, tooth service, eyelash, and some cosmetic dentistry, which is wrong, but it's not so sure about it. Mouth, lip, hand, patient, medical assistant, jaw surgeon, pain, ear dentistry, right? And then if you go to logos, this is actually wrong, right? But it's about there. We want to train Google that this logo is the logo of your brand, your company, and eventually Google will be able to see it. It also sees text inside. What should you get, Botox or other fillers, and whatever service you're promoting. This is why we're optimizing and creating photos like this, adding the strips, the bars at the bottom of the photo. We add the strip, and add your logo, your name, phone, and number, and so on and so on. So what we are doing here is we're training Google to associate your brand with the thing that's inside of the photo, right? And that's why we need to get fresh photos from you. And after we get them, we distribute them into Google My Business posts. We distribute them all over the internet, Tumblr, WordPress, Blogger, and so on and so on. So here are the instructions on, what we need from you as the client. So we need 20 to 30 high quality photos for each service you want to promote. So if you want to promote, I don't know, pest control, right? You want to promote, I don't know, rat extermination, right? You need to send us the photos of you doing the work in the field. If you are a medical spa and you want to promote cool sculpting, we need the photos of you doing cool sculpting. And so these are the types of photos and some examples, on what we need exactly from you. So first, we need before and after photos, right? So let's say before I get there, if you give us, let's say, 30 photos of your service, right? Let's say, make sure that it's a mix of all these things that I'm going to talk about right now. So first thing, before and after photos. So if your customers are involved and they don't want to show their face, we can blur their eyes. We'll do it for you, right? We can also take partial photos of specific body parts. Let's say nose, eyebrows, lips, etc. So for example, if you're doing pest control and you have a client, show you can show let's say you can show the client, your customer, but if they don't want to be shown inside of the photo, we can just blur their eyes, right? I don't know, like for example, you were able to get rid of ants inside of their home, right? So you can take a photo of you and your client, and an empty space where there is no more ants, for example. But if the client doesn't want to show himself on the inside of the photo, we can just blur their eyes or remove them completely. But this is just one type of a picture, right? Before and of a photo, before and after. So these are some examples. One of the clients, this is before, this is after. We want to make sure that this is you doing the work, right? For example, this is for Botox, right? This is before and this is after. This is for cool sculpting. This is for microblading, which are all medical spa procedures. This is, I don't know, skin peel. But for any type of business, if you can show us something that was there before and something that was there after, that's perfect. For example, before you start doing your work on ant extermination, or termite extermination, you can take a photo of you coming to the site, right, and seeing that everything is full of termites. Then you take the photo of before and you take the photo of after, and then you can combine it into two like this, right? So that's the first type of a photo we need from you. So let's say you send us 5 or 6 of these for the specific service that we want to promote. This, the second type of photo we want from you is your team in action. So you can capture the worker's whole figure doing the service, or you can capture his or her hands only. So, for example, this is for plastic surgery, right? We want to see the surgeons doing the actual work. This is for Botox. If the person doesn't want to be on the photo, you can cut. You can cut her out. Like the head doesn't show here. It only shows her doing the Botox injection. So this is a chiropractor, right? He's doing work. This is a laser tattoo removal. This is, for example, I don't know. This is skin peeling, right? And this is, let's say, this is water delivery, right? So this is a person actually doing the work, right? So that's the second type of photo that we need from you. The third type of the photo that we need is equipment, right? So if you can, you can try, and get us, like, let's say 5 or 6 photos of the equipment that you use for your everyday work, right? So, for example, different tools, machines, injections, creams, implants, tools that you use for pest extermination, and so on and so on. It can also be like, it can be a photo of the equipment only, or if the customer is willing to cooperate, you can take, like, for example, here you can take the photo of a customer and the equipment that you're using. Uh, I mean, like I said before, the goal is to connect the objects that are on inside of the photo with your brand, which is below, right? And to force Google to associate your brand with the equipment, the tools, the people, the professionals that are inside of the photo. So, for example, this here is for cool sculpting. This is a cool sculpting machine. This is a cool sculpting machine. This is also a cool sculpting machine, just taken from different angles, which is what I'm gonna get to next. This is some kind of a skin cream or some kind of a product, right? Then the third type, the no, I think that's the fourth type. Yeah. So we have 4 types, but it doesn't matter. What matters is what kinds of photos you have to take. So this you can take facility photos as well. Capture the part of your office where you do your services. So some examples: treatment room, service chair, surgery room, surgery table, shelves with different items, and so on and so on. So, for example, this is a med spa facility, right? This is also a med spa facility. This is the shelf with all the products, right? This is the truck for water delivery. So we need you to give us 20 or 30 photos per service that you want to promote. Uh, and these types of photos are before and after. If you can take those, your team in action, right? The equipment that you're using, like this here, and facility photos, your office, the things that you use, like your office and the places that are used for your work, like this, right? Even the cars and everything. This could also be like considered an equipment, right? But you get the point. And finally, some notes. So if you have to take the same scene from a different angle, but just make sure that the angle is different enough. The photos shouldn't be exactly the same. So a good example is this one here. So we have a cool sculpting machine, which is a medical spa procedure. Cool sculpting is a medical spa procedure. You have it from this angle, and then you have it from a different angle. So don't make the same photo like just by turning by, I don't know, 1 or 2 degrees, right? You want to take these from completely different angles, and that way you can fill out the quota of 20 or 30 photos that we need from you. Uh, and the second thing is every photo needs to be named accordingly, so we know how to use it appropriately, right? You can also put these photos into a folder. So for example, let's say like this example, put all of, let's say, I don't know, squirrel removal photos into a squirrel removal folder, right? So just so we know what the service is all about, because sometimes we don't, right? Uh, or I don't know, like if you're a medical spa, you can put all your Botox photos inside of the Botox folder and then send it to us. So one more time, we need these photos to train Google to connect your brand to the services that are inside of the photo. That's why we don't use stock photos. Stock photos actually do more harm to your business than good. We need 20 to 30 high quality photos for each service that you want to promote. And these photos should be before and after photos of you doing the work, your team in action, right? Your equipment, and your facility photos. And even again, if you don't have like enough material, you can take these photos from different angles, but just make sure that the angle is big enough to for Google to recognize the difference. And that's it. This is all we need. Thank you.